You saw him standing right there. It would have been Comer's right, but stage left, I guess, if you will. Our next guest, Congressman Nick Langworthy. By the way, he's on the House Oversight Committee. Nick, thanks for coming on the program to talk about this very important investigation that you all are working on, even though the rest of the mainstream media doesn't seem so. They think it's a political attack to go after an opponent, when no. I look at it as a journalist and I say, this is someone looking into the possibility that our president is compromised by his backdoor deals over how many years while he was VP. I get that about right?
100%. I mean, the American people deserve to know if our president's on the take. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And whether he's structuring it through his family, creating generational wealth. I mean, think about $10 million flowing through this family. Not a one of them has any international expertise. Not any one of them has a saleable energy skill to get millions of dollars flowing to them from a Chinese CCP-run energy company. They're basically a series of grifters that are trading on their name. And we need to know, how much of this goes to the president, and are his foreign policy decisions based around this? I mean, what Chairman Comer, you heard some of that press conference in the replay that you just showed. I mean, now we've uncovered Romania. While Biden was railing as vice president about corruption in Romania, his family was taking money through an intricate series of as many as 20 LLCs and companies. There were great points brought up at that press conference. Legitimate business doesn't function this way. You don't, take in an influx of cash and then spread it amongst a series of companies and directly into family members' personal bank accounts, including your grandchildren. I mean, it doesn't make sense, and it basically only exists in a world where you're trying to hide something, whether you're trying to hide from the IRS, you're trying to hide from other investigatory authorities. But the suspicious activities reports, they're damning. We've got subpoenaed bank records from 4 banks, 8 left to go. We're just getting to the tip of the iceberg here. And this is showing itself more and more to be the Biden family crime syndicate than it is just the doting family of the vice president, now president.
Yeah, I mean, I look at him, not as smart as Tony Soprano, but let's be real. We'll use a television reference because Sopranos was the best mob television show in television history. I believe the ratings proved it. He's like Tony Soprano. You don't touch anything. You don't touch the money. Nobody talks to this guy. You put it on everybody else. And before, as I said, before Joe had his dementia, he was smart enough back then while VP for those 8 years to say, nobody touches me directly. All this money is going to go to you guys, and then I'll just take it out, or you'll buy this from me, or whatever. Because you're right. How does legitimate business explain how all this money came pouring in, and then you just handed it out here or there? That's not how a business operates. And again, I'm going to go back to the first thing you said. What person out of the sons and daughters and brothers and grandkids have any expertise in any of these fields? Because almost all the companies, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because the Romanian ones are new news to me. The China, the Ukraine, and maybe Romania, all of these, had to do with some sort of energy type company, which none of these Bidens have jack squat knowledge about nor a degree in. So what would make them and what would make a foreign entity want to hire them or put them on a board? Come on.
I mean, these foreign actors, they're shrewd. They're very shrewd. They know there's a last name there that equals power.
Yep.
These family members that are approaching these people for a payment, I mean, we don't know what transactions took place, what agreements took place. I mean, that's what's so troubling here. And, the pearl clutching by the press, first, those that won't cover it all, the media blackout that exists on this is reprehensible.
Disgusting.
But second, the people that, those of us that have spoken out about this and talked about the facts, say that, oh, how dare you say that the president shouldn't love his son? I hope he loves his son. But his son doesn't have a license to be a crook at the expense of the American people.
Thank you.
And that's what we're seeing, right now unfolding before our eyes, no matter what sort of personal demons he's battled. I'm not talking about that. I mean, that's his personal business.
No, but those have something to do with it, though, Nick, too. Because let's be real. That does have something to do with it. When I've gotten flack, too. They'll go, why are you ripping on him? He's the son. He's not the president. Of course, my first thing is, and you treated Trump that way? Give me a frickin' break. But I won't go there. Let's go here. You have a guy who was cracked out of his mind, who was bringing people to the Vice President of the United States of America and setting up meetings. How many meetings do you guys find in those logs? At least a dozen or a couple dozen? And then he's interacting. And those are the records we can
get our hands on.
Right.
And meanwhile, the FBI has refused at this point to hand over the documents that Chairman Comer has subpoenaed.
I wonder why.
I mean, there's a two-track system of justice in this country. It's alive and well, and the American people that are watching this program and programs like it around the country, they need to understand that we are not dealing with a level playing field. People are all not being treated fairly, and this president is stifling justice in this country.
Yes, well, we know that the alphabet agencies are all corrupt. They're being weaponized, and they're going after political opponents instead of doing their damn job and keeping the American people safe, investigating real crimes like this one, where, again, you might have a compromised president because of his compromised crackhead son and the deals that they made between foreign entities. And so when he's doing the business of president now, and he's got to interact with these agencies and these companies and these countries like Romania, Ukraine, and China, is he doing it in the best interest of me and you folks, or him and his family? And that's what we've got to get to the bottom of. That's why I thank you guys on the Oversight Committee.
Thank you. I mean, they have pocketed over $10 million that we've seen so far.
Right.
There could be more. We don't know what other countries, but these countries are getting less and less reputable as you see, the people that they have been doing business with. And let's face it, China is our greatest adversary, foreign and domestic.
Yes, it is.
They're trying to infiltrate every piece of American life, the espionage, every element of our world they are trying to take over. And we have a president that we have to ask out loud the question, is he compromised on China?
You got it.
And that is a very dangerous position for our country to be in right now.
Yes, it is. Nick Langworthy representing the 23rd in New York. I don't think you've been on since, so I need to say congrats, by the way, on the win, because we had you on so many times before. So welcome back. Congrats on that. And thanks for being able to walk, chew gum, and get legislation and do investigations at the same time, unlike Democrats. Appreciate you, Nick.
Thank you.
Take care.